Hello, hello. Welcome back to Yoga with Pedro. Thank you so much for joining me today on this video where we're going to do a little yin yoga flow. So yin yoga is the complement to your vinyasa yoga practice where we get into the deeper connective tissues of our body, into the fascia. I really like to practice yin. I teach a Vin to Yin style class, public class locally where I live here in Delray Beach, Florida. And it's one of my favorite classes to do. You get the yin style, you get to slow down a little bit, you get to connect a little bit more. So we'll do a little yin flow for today's practice. So why don't you find your mat? And if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really grateful for all of you joining my community. I just launched my brand new website, yogawithpedro.com. All the link and such is down below. So if you could check it out once you're done flowing and savasana-ing, and join the community there on my website and opt into my email list. I would really appreciate it. I have a bunch of full-length content coming out soon. So I would appreciate that if you would join me here on my journey here on YouTube and wherever it takes us. So without further ado, let's do some yoga. Find your mat. So we're going to start on our belly. We're going to start in crocodile pose today. So come on down. You're just going to make a little pillow with your hands, right? You're going to put your forehead down, right on the back sides of your hands. And just take a moment to let everything kind of settle and allow yourself the opportunity to just be. So notice your breath into the nose. Let's take it out the mouth at first. Just kind of a... Do that again. Little inhale. Little exhale. One more time. And just keep it in and out through your nose. Well, this crocodile pose is definitely a posture, right? It's a subtle backward bend. Maybe you're feeling it in your low back. And just allow gravity to come over your body as a comforting embrace in this moment. Letting the hips settle into the floor. The forehead relaxing to your hands. Softening, settling, and being. Maybe you have a little intention you want to set in your practice. This is a wonderful space to do that in right here. Just breathing. Let's go ahead and evolve our crocodile. We're going to come into a sphinx pose. So you're going to bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders, your hands into your mat. Right, take an opportunity to let the tops of the feet settle into the floor. Again, the hips are just settled into the floor. And just a slight gentle tug. You're going to feel as if you're pulling your chest through, leading with your heart, guiding you forward. And again, the breath is effortless, right? It's just in and out through your nose. It's just flowing. Taking this time to slow down, to really connect and allow yourself to be. This is a practice you can do at any time. Morning, mid-afternoon, evening. Allowing the breath access, giving us deeper access into our body. Using that breath as the bridge to connect the mind and the body. Nice and easy. When we're ready, we're going to come out of crocodile. We're going to press back to child's pose. So take your time coming back to child's pose. All right, just pressing back, walking the hips towards the heels, the arms extending forward. Nice. Feel that long side body stretch. Long stretch from the shoulders down the neck, down the arms, down to the fingers. And so in these yin poses, we're resolving to remain still. Holding the poses for a little bit more length of time, maybe than in the vinyasa flow. So finding stillness in the poses, just seeing what comes up for us. Relaxing the bite, softening in. As you come out of child's pose, as you inhale, we'll come out of child's pose. We're going to come into low dragon pose, right? So vinyasa, you might call it lizard lunge. I'm going to call it low dragon here in yin, right? So you're going to have your hands inside of your right foot, so right leg forward. We're going to have knee over ankle-ish, right? Not so important in the yin style. Have it something like this, right? You're going to have the hands in the inside of your feet. Maybe you want to grab a block. I have one here handy. If not, maybe you can use a pillow, a book, a pet. It's all good, right? Just let the back foot just relax down, right? And you're just going to allow gravity to come over the body. So it's a big stretch for the front side of the left hip. All right, so we're going to do inside and front sides of hips today, outsides and insides. So we really work a lot from low back down in yin, right? From hips down, waist down, right? Getting into the hips. Okay, so maybe after a few breaths, you can get rid of your prop and go onto your hands. Now you can go onto your forearms. That's totally an option for you, right? In this practice, it's a little soon for me to get there, right? So I'm just going to hang out right here. And I'm feeling really good about it too. Nice. So slowly but surely here, we're going to start to come off of our hands, or if you're on your forearms, you'll come up. And we're just going to press it back to a little half split, right? So maybe you want to draw the right foot into the middle of your mat. And it's just an easy little half split, right? There's nothing, you're not really intensifying. You're not going to full Hanumanasana. Just a little half split, just a little stretch there for the back side of the leg. Just a little release. And just come back on over. Bring your feet together. Right, maybe you want to sit back on your heels for a moment. Maybe that feels better for you. Sometimes action feels better, right? So maybe a little bit of movement, moving around. Just check it out, right? So in between the poses in yin, right, it really allows a little space for self-exploration, for doing what feels good. Yeah. Then we get it on the other side. So take your time, and we're going to go left leg forward, right? So I'm starting on my block, right? So it's a little bit different. Left and right side for me always feels different, right? But I have the same intention on both sides. So again, gravity's coming over me. And notice if you're contracting your muscles, see if you can work on relaxing and softening in, right? So in vinyasa, we wrap the muscles, contract, 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 so that we can protect the bones, joints, ligaments, right? In the yin style practice, we allow ourselves to let everything kind of settle. Right, and then that gives us the opportunity to get into the fascia, the connective tissue. Right, we got to have awareness of our body, right? And in yin, we really got to let go, right? So you got to let go or you're going to get dragged down by it. This is work on letting go. That's my intention for my practice today, is letting go. Notice where your thoughts go when you're in the pose. For me, oftentimes, this left side is more challenging. I got a lot going on the outside of my left hip, so in this moment, I get a lot of awareness going there. Sometimes it feels as if it is too much, and if so, you just back off a bit, right? It's not a big deal. Let's slowly come out of there, start to press into your hands. We'll find that nice little half split. Yeah, just flexing the toes in towards your nose, ever so slightly in towards the nose, folding over just a little bit for a little hamstring. Nice and easy. We'll bring the feet back together, back of your mat again. If you want to just kind of move the energy around the other way, if you like sitting in stillness for a moment, that feels good, right? Because you get this nice length through the legs. Just organic movements, right? Doing what feels right for you. Call it the feel-good pose. Do a lot of feel-good poses, right? All right. Taking a moment Then we're going to take it into shoelace pose. So to get there, you're going to take your left knee and cross it behind your right. Right? You're going to sit down between, so think cow-facing pose in vinyasa practice. Right? In shoelace, you keep the weight into your hands, and you're going to settle into right between your heels. All right, so you can get into it that way. If that's too much to get into it, right, you just find yourself seated. Take your left leg on the bottom, and your right leg over the top. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you can keep the left leg extended forward, right? And if you got the whole shoelace thing going on, perfect. Okay, so this is for the outsides of the hips, right into the glutes a little bit. I'm stacking the right knee over the left. Feel my spine nice and long. Now, if it's okay for your neck, you can go ahead, have your hands next to you, and you take your chin to your chest, and you start to go forward just ever so slightly. Maybe you're crawling, walking your hands forward, and folding in. If you like to add the arms, you can. You can do left arm on top here, right arm up underneath. You can even use a strap or a shirt to kind of work the shoulders open. I just like this nice gentle fold forward, chin to the chest, rounding in. Shoelace. For some reason, I feel as if I'm extra flexible in this posture today. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but it feels like it. Nice. And if you have a prop or a block, sometimes you can rest your head on it. Now, if that works proportional for your body, for me it doesn't, but definitely seen it happen, seen that action going on, to rest, to settle, to really allow the breath to channel into the areas that needs a little bit of healing, a little bit of love, a little bit of openness. I want you to easy does it. You'll start to walk into your hands, roll the spine up, let the head come up last. Take your time, take your time. Never in a rush. Take the right leg off the top, the left leg out, and give it a little windshield wiper of your legs. Love the windshield wiper of the legs. Feels wonderful. All right, let's rock it out on the other side. So when you're ready, we'll go right leg on the bottom this time. Left leg up and over the top. And again, you can keep the right leg extended if that works better for your body. If you want to bend it, you go ahead and bend it back in. All right, so take your time. Remember, same intention on both sides. It looks totally different for me on this side, right? Huge gap between my knees because I got a tighter piriformis in my butt, right? It's a little bit tighter on this side. So my hip gets a little bit locked up. That's okay. I'm just aware of it. And I'm taking my chin to my chest. And I'm just working through it, allowing myself to get in there, work it out. Using my breath. Remember, forearms are available. If you did the arm thing on top, right arm on top, left arm on bottom this side. And as you're in your pose, maybe just kind of notice where you're at for today. And see if there's an opportunity to play with your edge. Right, if there's an opportunity to play with your edge, see if you can get in there a little bit deeper. Remember, too much is, if it's something that, pain that comes up for you, obviously backing off, right? If it's this little discomfort, not sure, exploring, fantastic. Give yourself that permission to explore. I can and I am. I just noticed my shoulders were kind of hiked up to my ears, right? So I send a relaxation wave over my shoulders and then get in a little bit more. Slowly but surely start to make your way into your hands, stacking the spine vertebrae by vertebrae, letting your head come up last if you're down there. All right, gently take your feet out. Let's get a little windshield wiper of the legs. A little side to side. All right. So we did front sides of hips, outside of hips. Let's do inside. Let's do butterfly pose, but we'll do reclined. Right? So take the soles of your feet together when you're on your back down here, right? So soles of the feet together. Let your knees splay out to the side. And now just working inner groins. Yeah. Back of the head relaxes to the mat. Maybe left hand over your heart, right hand over your belly. So even these simple practices that we do here, 10, 15 minutes long, very therapeutic, very grounding, targeting specific areas in our body that things get locked up in. Low back, side body, hips, huge. Taking these moments to really appreciate the fact that you have this body, you're able to do these yoga poses to the best of your ability, that you have a strong intention, that you have your breath. Those things right there, seemingly everything you need for your day, your week, rest of the month, rest of the year, maybe rest of your life. Let the knees just relax a little bit more, allowing gravity to come over the body once again. Feeling connected to the mat, connected to your space. And then as you're ready, we'll gently close the butterfly, taking hands under knees or thighs, and extending your legs forward. Take your arms over your head. Take a nice inhale and a stretch. A little exhale, just kind of, let's do that again. A nice inhale, get a stretch. Maybe out the mouth a little. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Take the ankles and the wrists, kind of move them around a little bit. Let all that stuff go, maybe shaking the legs a little bit, letting the energy out through the legs, to the hips. Stretch the mouth wide open, releasing the facial muscles, any tension in the jaw that you may have created or any that you had before you got here. Maybe you get a yawn. And then just allow yourself a few moments to relax here in Savasana, palms facing up, back of the head relaxed. Just take a few moments in Savasana to absorb the benefits of your practice, absorbing the benefits of your intention, absorbing all the beautiful healing properties of this yin yoga flow. Until next time, my friends, namaste.